what's in your mind, for you and for I. I'm trying to decide from the look in your eyes, yeah. I mean besides, but your feelings inside you, I'm blessing up my mind and my spirit.
Well, hello everybody. This is episode 29 of Inside the RV. This is a podcast about entrepreneurship, work ethic, self-development, and becoming the best version of yourself. You're joined by your two lovely hosts. I'm one of them. My name is Jacob Moore.
I'm the other, Ryan Ramirez, a.k.a. Double R.
A.k.a. Double R, a.k.a. Two Bearded Men, a.k.a. we both got a haircut today, 1 hour apart from each other and didn't even know it till it happened. Beards lined up and everything.
We're just on the same wavelength.
The same transient, bro. We are an artist and artist manager duo looking to take over the music industry and be super successful. I am the artist manager. Ryan is the artist. We work together. We're trying to build our career and tell you guys about it in real time. Shout out to all of our insiders that have been listening for 28, now 29 weeks. This is crazy. I want to talk to you guys about something that has been more relevant to my life now than ever, and that is finding joy in what you do.
Dope.
Yeah. No, yeah, because Ryan's looking at me because we've just been having these conversations over the last week or two about how we're feeling like shit. And there's a lot to be thankful for. There's a lot of good things happening in our personal lives and with our careers that we are building and are continuing to build. But some days, life kicks you in the ass. Mm-hmm. Some days you wake up on the wrong side of the pillow, you feel like shit. Some days you get really, really angry and aggressive really easily. Yeah. And I have a problem with my temper, and I think you do too. Yeah. I think both of us have gotten better at controlling it. Yeah. But I'm naturally, at least speaking for myself, I'm naturally a pretty aggressive, angry person.
I'm a hothead too.
Yeah.
But I'm more of like a hothead in my head. Like I think I control it pretty good, like outwardly.
Yeah,
I might just be more a little more stern, but like in my head, I'm like, I want to punch somebody in the face.
You're like the guy when you get so mad that you grab a paper bag and you scream into it, and then when someone opens the paper bag, it's like it comes out. Yeah,
I think we're in the same in that way too.
Oh, totally. I get so easily frustrated, and that's something that I've been getting better at working on. And if you're listening to this and you're trying to get better control over your emotions. We have an episode about that. Control your emotions before they control you. I don't know the number, but go look it up. There's a lot of good value in that. And so part of that, controlling your emotions and keeping yourself happy and everything is finding joy in the things that you do. Guys, the bottom line is that in life, no matter how great you have it, no matter how much money you have or you don't have, or no matter what position you're in, you're going to have days where you feel like shit, and you're going to have days where you don't want to do things and you're not finding joy in the things that you do. It is up to you to go and seek out joy and find things to be grateful for in the thing that you're doing. So, I worked at a gym at school for like 4 years and 3 months, right? And so for a couple years during that, I was doing people's laundry. Like we handed out towels to people, right? I would be doing laundry, and I would just be doing like I worked at a gym. I worked at a gym, and so there were days where I just felt like absolute shit, and I had to train myself when I was in that laundry room by myself to not go rip someone's head off. I had to train myself to say, "Hey, Jacob, how can you find joy in doing other people's dirty, smelly ass laundry?" If you, by the way, pro tip, if you can make yourself happy and joyous doing someone else's laundry, you can make yourself happy doing a lot of things, you know? So there is value in training yourself to be a joyous person, to be happy, because we talk about this a lot. Your mindset will transfer into other things that you do. So if you can, even if you don't like doing the task, like I said, you're going to be faced with things you don't want to do, but you have to do them. Today, I did not want to work my day job. I didn't, but I had to, and it took a long time, and it took a long time yesterday, and it sucked. But I had to look on the bright side. I had to go, hey, I'm working from home. I'm making money in a pandemic when a lot of people aren't making money. I'm blessed to even have a job. You have to be grateful for the things that you have and find joy, because the negative mindset will perpetuate itself, and you will continue to think yourself into a state where you feel like absolute shit. You are the only person who is in control of how you react to the things that are put in front of you. So if you continue to have a negative mindset and all you do is find hatred and negativity in the things that you're doing, then it will snowball and you'll continue that trend. That's why it's so important to find joy and train yourself to find joy in the things that you do, even if it's just something that you may think is insignificant, like, oh, I'm like I said with the laundry example, like, oh, I'm doing other people's laundry, whatever. It's the little things like, hey, well, could be worse. I could be, like in Afghanistan shooting guns and fighting terrorists and stuff and getting shot at. Like there's always something to compare the whatever.
At least
the
you're
grass
like
is
in a
always
chill
greener.
environment though.
Exactly. A little thing like that. You have to take these little things and try to maximize them and stretch them. Like Ryan said, hey, at least I'm working at a nice facility. It was a $40 million building at a great university. Hey, it's nothing but students around me. There's chicks everywhere. It was cool. Like there's things to look forward to.
Yeah.
So you just got to find it.
Yeah. And that just reminds me like, bro, like we're in music. Music's fun.
Yeah, bro.
Music's fun. Like music's cool, dude. Like so I always have to remind myself that because like we were saying in the last episode, sometimes when you do something for a long time, it can lose its luster, and you can really like, yeah, we're doing music. I make a lot of records, but that exciting feeling that you get in the beginning definitely goes away because you get used to it. And I think that's for anybody. So it's like you gotta, like what you said, constantly remind yourself like, what are you grateful for? Like, just remind yourself like why you're in a good position over like what you could have been doing. Like I remind myself of when I was living in LA and I was commuting like an hour and a half to go work full time and to drive an hour and a half home, and then by the time I get home I'm tired and it's like I feel like my life is just over in a sense because I'm just doing the same thing every day. So I just remind myself of that feeling I had and I'm like, dude, I had this opportunity to like really do what I want to do and enjoy it. And do it every day. It's like, that's a blessing right there. I always have to remind myself that.
And so let's say that you're trying so hard to find joy in something and you can't. And I've worked, I worked in internship. It was my first internship. And I worked in the financial technology / banking industry. And the people I worked with were really, really cool, but I didn't like the industry that much. It just didn't interest me. It wasn't cool, but my mentor, Naja, the marketing director, she's amazing. Love her to death. She's dope. Taught me a lot. The other, execs and all these people I was talking to and coworkers, like people were dope. Like it was cool, but I just couldn't get myself out of this rut from the fact I was like, damn, dude, like I'm working this, in this area that I'm just not fascinated with. I'm not interested in it at all. And I had to do that all summer. Once again, life could be worse, whatever. But
you had like kind of like this weird empty feeling that you felt every day.
Yes. Totally.
That's what I felt.
And it's and here's the deal: you can be doing something that benefits you and not like it. You don't. One thing that I want to tell you is to not let other people invalidate what you're going through. I did this to someone, one of my really close friends who I'm still close with. I did this to her years ago. She said something to me. I was like, hey, it could be worse. Whatever. And I kind of like chewed her out. I was just some hot-headed like 12th grader and felt like I was the shit or whatever. And looking back on that, I was being a total douchebag. But if you're feeling like shit and you can't find joy in something, don't let someone invalidate that. That whole, oh, could be worse. I almost want to say that's a bit of a nonsensical argument because you can take that anywhere. You can use that in any situation. Could be worse. And although it's true, it's like, okay, but that doesn't help you get out of the rut that you're currently in.
Yeah, that's true.
So I understand the sentiment, but in terms of what it can actually do for you, it's just kind of like, okay, I get it. Could be worse. Like now, how do I move forward instead of just saying could be worse?
I think that's a good starting point. I don't think that's the answer though.
I agree.
I think that's a great conversation starter to be like, hey, look, it could be worse. Start with that, but now how can we make it better?
Mindset shift.
Yeah.
Kind of a mindset shift. Okay. So number one, don't let people invalidate what you're going through. So if you feel like you cannot find joy in what you're doing, number one, don't let someone invalidate it. Fuck them. Only you know what you're going through, and only you are going to be the person who is able to get yourself out of it. That's number one. Number two, if you can't find joy in something that you're doing, you need to look forward to finding a different thing that you will find joy in. So find happiness and joy in knowing that there are other alternatives. And this is where patience comes into play. I'm not huge on my day job right now. I'm not huge on it. It's not a lot of fun. I'm skilled at what I do, and I get satisfaction out of that, and I work with great clients, and I kind of like what I do. It's cool, but there were days where I just couldn't make myself happy, and I've been doing this since June of 2020, so it's been like 6, 7, 8 months, whatever. And I finally reached this point where I was like, Jacob, you need to be patient because this job that you're working, you're probably only going to be working for a year or two till you save up enough liquid cash to invest in something, or you get a different opportunity doing something. Like, what you're in right now is not going to be the rest of your life. So if you're, a stay-at-home whatever, or you work this corporate job, or you're breaking your back doing this physical work or whatever, it's up to you to not make that your whole life. It's up to you to get out of that, and to motivate yourself to do that. You need to tell yourself, you need to find joy in the fact that there are other opportunities out there. You just have to go seek them out. And sometimes the world is shit, and you just got to do what you got to do. Right now, I've just got my hood on. I'm kind of staying low, and I'm just working from home, saving up cash, doing my thing, post grad, just kind of going along. And it's easy to feel like you're in some sort of monotony. And I know you feel the same way too. Like, you work out of this RV. You had a very structured routine, which you're just getting a little bit looser with now, Ryan. And so it's easy to get stuck in the monotony, but you have to know and look forward to the fact that you are totally capable of putting yourself in a different situation and changing your fucking life. That's true. So when you see all this bullshit on social media and people are pushing this victim mentality and all this bullshit, that why you smirking? No, but I mean, it's truth. Yeah. When you see all this bullshit on social media and these people, perpetuating this victim mentality and telling people that they can't do things because you're this, or you look like this, or whatever, or this person thinks that they're better than you, or whatever. Fuck them, dude. That is literally such bullshit. That is literally such. First off, how can another person tell you what you're capable of when they're not living your life and they don't know the types of resources or the things that you have or the willpower? Another person can only gauge your willpower and drive and work ethic. They will never know truly what it is. So all these people on social media telling you can't do things, they're pushing a victim mentality. It's fucking bullshit, and it's illegitimate. They will never know what you are capable of. Only you know that. And if you don't know what you're capable of, the only way to find out is to push it and continue pushing it. So that's kind of all I got to say for people on social media, because I could talk about that for hours and get all mad, but
yeah. You went in right there.
I tried.
I got nothing to say to that.
It's a tough topic, man, because it's like I'm sure there are people listening and they're like, well, how can I find joy in things when all I see on the internet is bullshit and negativity? Well, first off, you need to be disciplined enough to, number one, when you see negativity, separate yourself from it, and number two, not become overreactive to seeing things that you don't like. Every day I go on social media and I see things that I disagree with and I don't like. And I could let that affect my mental game and the way that I make decisions. But you know what that would be? If I let that negativity get to me, that would make me weak-minded. It would make me emotionally weak because I can't control my emotions. That negativity I see, it would overtake me and my mindset would shift. That's being emotionally weak. That's being mentally weak. You have to train yourself and become disciplined enough to see through people's bullshit and not let it affect you. And you hear this type of shit all the time, dude. You can listen to whatever fucking podcast you want. You can listen to this podcast. Ryan's like staring me down as I'm going in right now. But you can listen to any fucking podcast you want, dude. And people are going to tell you all day like, oh, it's all in your mind. It's all whatever. And I know, easier said than done, but it's the fucking truth, dude. So if you're listening to this podcast or you're seeing things on social media and people are telling you, it's your mindset, dude, it is. I literally have no other fucking way to tell you. It's what you think. It's everything. It's your perception of reality that is affecting how you view the world. It's simply your perception. Yeah. Okay, so
the way I see it, dude, is like it's a never-ending journey. Like it's a never-ending learning journey, and I think we always talk about that too. It's like no one ever has all the answers. Like it's a never-ending thing. So based on what you said, like so just find joy in the process. Like enjoy it. Like you're not gonna find. There's no finish line with it. Yeah. So why are you stressing so much about the finish line? All you got to do is just enjoy what you're doing and get better every day, which is what you just texted me earlier. Like just we aside from the music that we're doing, like it's helping us just grow as people and like just become better. So it's like, I don't know, that's where you can find the joy in things, in my opinion.
I called Ryan earlier today and I was like, yo, bro, or I texted you, right?
Or both.
Yeah, well, I called him and I texted him. Yeah. We're always hyping each other up if we can. And you should do that to your friends too. Like, don't think that shit's weird, dude. Like, if you haven't talked to one of your homies in a while, send them a text and be like, yo, kill it today. whatever it is. Like,
and
just
I feel like
reach out.
that goes a long way too.
It does, dude. It does. And people remember you for that shit.
Yeah.
It's cliche, the quote, you know,
Because no one does it to, like, I guarantee, like, there's very few people that do that to, like, their friends.
that reach out and
Yeah, so it's like, if you get a text like that, it's like, damn, like, I feel valued, you know?
yeah, it's that quote. Oh God, I'm losing it. People won't remember you for what you did, but for how you made them feel.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the cliche
You
quote. I
always
forgot who
remember-
said it, but
Always remember how people made you feel.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
weird.
and that's it. Could not be more true. But man, we aren't even drinking Trulies and I'm burping. Is this what it's like to be in your mid-20s? I just want to ask everybody, when you turn like 23, 24 years old, your knees start hurting, you're going down the damn stairs and the kid's on your lawn. Oh God, and suddenly like politics is just a big part of your life and you hate everybody. Like, is that what it's like turning 30?
I thought you were going to say tummy issues.
Oh yeah, tummy issues and shit too. Like my dad's got stomach issues, my brother got stomach issues. I'm gonna need an esophageal pillow and shit. You know what I'm saying? I gotta carry Tums with me everywhere I go. Gosh, it's like I used to be at like, let's go to Carl's Jr. like 7 days in a row. Now it's like, do you have anything with no salt?
Yeah.
I'm drinking oat milk and shit.
Yeah.
God, when did that
I'm
happen?
on a keto diet.
Yeah, for real. I don't get that, man. It's like now we're going out to Glamis this weekend. Literally for the past 3 weeks, bro, I had to like not drink alcohol and like prepare because I knew we were going to get fucked up and party and shit like that. Here's another thing about finding joy in things that you do. You find joy in things when you don't give a fuck what people think, dude. And that's what I'm coming to realize. That's what Ryan's coming to realize. The reason that you stress so much over social media and your likes and shit, and I'm telling you this from personal fucking experience, because this is something that I've realized. I am an extremely self-conscious person. I've been that way my whole life, and I'm slowly starting to loosen my grip on it. I had social anxiety. In certain situations, I will have it. I think everybody has social anxiety to an extent.
I think we have it a lot because we just care about people.
Yeah.
Like I've always wanted to make sure everyone's comfortable around me. Like growing up, I know you're always like that too. Like I feel like every time we're in a group or something and someone feels left out and I can tell, I always try to include them.
Yeah, dude.
I never want that person to feel, because I know what that feels like and I hate that shit.
Yes.
You know,
dude. Especially growing up, dude. Like when you're like any time in public school, K through 12 or whatever. Dude, like those are such crucial periods of your life. And I have been in that situation where when you're like sitting with a group of people and you're like, I am not in this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it feels like shit.
and you're waiting for someone just to like pick you into it.
Yeah.
But no one, like, they don't.
Yeah. Yeah. We were nerds for a minute, okay? No, but so
They just throw you on the ground and kick you and
you steal your lunch money. They take your bagged chocolate milk and your taco nada. Anybody here have taco nadas? If you had a taco nada growing up at school,
in middle school,
You
did
were
you guys have
living.
those milk pouches? You know what I'm saying? Like where
the bags.
It was just a bag of milk, and you just like poke the straw in it. And
They
you
couldn't
and
even
you-
give us cartons.
And you had to cover like the top of the straw so it didn't squirt out the milk.
That's the Anaheim Union High School District special right there. The Anaheim special,
That's
man.
the today's special.
If you went to Kennedy High School and you know what today's special is, and you're from La Palma, Buena Park, you know it's good. Gosh, man, we sound so old.
What were you saying though? Not leaving people out and shit in the group.
So, what I never want someone to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I never do. I never want a woman to feel uncomfortable,
Yeah.
a man, a child, anyone, whoever a child. That
Yeah.
meme. No, but seriously, I never want anyone to feel uncomfortable because I've been in plenty of situations where someone says something weird, or a group of girls makes me feel weird, or a group of guys makes me feel weird, or just a group of people or something, or I feel uncomfortable. There is that fine line between, okay, are you making shit up, or are people genuinely like making you feel
Yeah.
out of place? But in the situations where I've genuinely been out of place, or I wouldn't even call it being bullied or whatever, just feeling uncomfortable, I never want someone to feel that. So
Yeah.
I grew up extremely self-conscious because I was in situations like that. And then I started to give a fuck so much about what people think because I was in those situations and I wanted to be accepted. And also, the second reason I cared so much about what people think growing up is because I never wanted them to feel uncomfortable. So I
Yeah.
constantly had to be like, okay, am I appeasing this person?
Yep,
Am I
yep,
cool with
yep.
this guy? Whatever. That translated into social media, into business, into my like dating life, into my sex and dating and relationship life. Dude,
even
like,
if
with
it's
chicks.
even if it's like let's say it's like your birthday party and your two different friend groups are there, but they're like different people.
I will
You have
be
to
like,
somehow link it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you're
you
on
gotta,
you're on the clock.
you gotta somehow be the middleman to like you gotta know what the common interests are and stuff, and you try to link it like that. I've always been like that too.
Yeah, dude.
Like, and if
Yeah.
I don't do that, I feel like I'm messing up.
You feel like you're like making
bad
everybody
host or
feel like
something,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And bro, like one thing that really like I've realized about myself is the deepest pain for me, bro, is if I let someone down.
Yeah.
Like dude.
Yeah.
I've realized that about myself. Like if I let someone down, that is the worst feeling for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to like fix it right away.
Mm-hmm.
I can't let shit linger. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if you're like that too.
I am, in the sense that I'm a communicator.
Yeah.
If I feel like in an instance with someone that I made them feel a certain way, I'll confront them about it. I'll be like, hey, did I make you feel like shit?
Yeah.
Or like, are we cool? Like, what's the deal? Like,
Mm-hmm.
not in a bad way or anything. I'm always like just trying to look out
Mm-hmm.
for people. So look, everything that Ryan and I were describing right now is normal. All types of people feel that. Maybe you felt the same way, but here's the deal. That's good. You should care about people, but you can't give a fuck. You can't give a fuck
About their opinion.
about their fucking opinion
Yeah.
or what they think of you. Okay? And that might sound contradictory, but it's not. Here's why. You need to have a level of decency and respect and care for human beings. You don't act like a fucking asshole to people, but you don't care so much about their opinion and how they feel and how they think of you and what they're going through. You can't let that shit bleed into your life and affect how you're gonna live your fucking life. For years on social media and Instagram and shit, I would always be like, oh man, like when I was riding BMX a ton and that was like my shit, before being a music manager, like that was my life, dude. I was like, oh man, if I post something on Instagram that isn't BMX, like I wonder if that's gonna be cool. Like I wonder if like when I meet up for like a session or whatever, people are gonna think I'm like acting different. Or when it came down to like being a music manager, I was like, yo, if I only post music manager stuff and I'm not even popped off yet, like are people gonna think that I'm an imposter? Fuck that fucking bullshit and fuck everybody, dude. Do you know how much shit that has put me through mentally and emotionally? I've had so many identity crises and shit just to come full circle, just to come all the way around and realize that it doesn't matter what people think. Here's another thing. Here's why you shouldn't give a fuck what people think. People like someone who is themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, when you act like yourself and you're being truly 100% authentic, people pick up that vibe. When you're trying to put up a persona, whether it's to protect your ego, which is the root of a lot of things, or whether it's to appease certain people, people pick up on that shit. And you're never going to get as much likability. You're never going to get as much...
You'll never get the respect as a leader until you do that.
100%.
Yeah.
A good leader isn't liked, they're respected. Okay? So stop going out and looking for people. And it's hard because on social media, what's the metric? Likes.
Yeah.
All you're looking for is a like on your tweet. All you're looking for is a
they
like
didn't like
on...
this. Oh, they didn't like this. Oh,
They
shit.
didn't
I
like-
should probably stick to this. And, you know.
Yeah, dude, you... Like, why... Okay, I was talking to Ryan on the phone about this. Why do you think people love David Dobrik? That motherfucker is 100% himself.
Yeah.
When I see him on TMZ or in one of his videos or on social media or whatever, he's being himself. And yeah, people make fun of his laugh or whatever it is, but you cannot deny that that guy is just unbelievably authentic. And that's why people vibe with him. It's attractive,
Yeah.
dude, because people see a trait in you. For example, like, so David Dobrik. So the reason people are attracted to his authenticity and him being genuine and stuff is because when people see a trait in you that they like, it means that they want that trait for themselves. Okay? Everybody secretly wants to just 100% be themselves.
Yeah.
But for some reason, whatever it is, there's a million variables and you could argue all types of cultural and societal bullshit. But the bottom line is that every single person experiences anxiety, self-consciousness, and all these different things.
And that's what makes that cliche make sense. Like, be yourself. Like, that's like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it's a cliche. Like, cliches are like real things. but it's just beat down so much when you're growing up that it's like, I get it, be myself.
Yeah,
but
be
it's
yourself.
Like,
easier said than done.
But when the older you get, though, you really see what that means.
Yeah.
Especially even with the other topic, like never give up. You always hear that growing up, but it's
true.
not till life hits you and like your adulting starts that like you're like, okay, now I see why it's beat down on you, because it's a real thing that you got to make that choice. You know.
Totally. And
Same thing with this.
Yeah, and so why would you live your life letting the opinions of others dictate what you do when you could be completely authentic and 100% be yourself? Because that will also motivate others and inspire them to be themselves. Like I said, you want to gain a following on Instagram and stuff, this is what I'm coming to realize, and I'm just starting to break out of my shell. I'm no social media guru, but this is just my estimation. You can call bullshit on it. I'm just throwing it out there. The reason that there are people that are popped off on social media is because they're being themselves.
Yeah.
And people like that, like PewDiePie or Mr. Beast or whatever, like David Dobrik, all these people who are like huge, people fall in love with them.
And I'm realizing that's a rarity, bro. Like I think like it's a rarity for people to like completely be themselves, especially online.
Yeah.
To show themselves like thick and thin, like their transparency. So maybe that's why like they're the ones that end up, you know. Because I still like, bro, if I'm gonna be honest, like we talked about this too. Like I still hide certain things about myself that I haven't shown.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like breaking out of those things and being like, yo, this is me. This is everything about me. Like this is me. You know, if you accept it, dope. Come with me, like, you know, follow along. But if not, then that's cool too. But I think that fear of like, oh, like I want to get everybody, like I want everyone to like me because like that's what it takes to become successful. It's like that's where it's backwards. It's like the opposite is what's gonna make you successful. You know?
Yeah. No, you just got to find your audience. No matter what. No matter what. And Nate James told us this. Shout out Nate James. If you don't know who Nate James is, that's Nathan James. He's a beast. We were on a drive home from Arizona with Nate, and this fool dropped like so much knowledge. And one thing he said, and Ryan like wrote this down in his notes, and this fool's such a beast. He's dope, man. Nate said, people are gonna love you and people are gonna hate you no matter what, so you might as well completely be yourself.
Yep.
And if you look at Nate and you meet him and you see things on social media, you see what he does, this fool is 100% himself.
Yep. And if someone doesn't fuck with him, he's like, cool.
Exactly. And here's the deal, like, you're going to have a niche. You're going to have an audience. You're going to have a group of people that truly, heavily fuck with you. Mm-hmm. That's your audience. You're not going to be able to, you know, sorry, but your 80-year-old grandma who grew up in this era and did this and that is going to be way different than the 30-year-old cousin, whatever. Like, there's going to be differences, you know, between people. And one person's going to vibe with you, one person isn't. Mm-hmm. So you just got to look for the people that are going to vibe with the version of you that is completely yourself. I'm going to just be completely straight up, dude. Like, if I want to go smoke some fucking weed and put it on camera or whatever, I should be able to do that. And if I get hate from a bunch of people, that's not my audience. They shouldn't watch me, and I shouldn't advertise to them. If I want to go on a podcast and say fuck every victim mentality pussy person on fucking social media who's, you know, saying all this bullshit about people not being able to accomplish shit, I'm gonna get up here and say it. And if I lose out on followers, then those people weren't the right audience anyways.
In the first place, yeah. You don't want them.
And look, the point of this podcast is not for me and Ryan to say this is what you should do. This is what is correct. It's for us to literally just come up here and have an open discussion about things that we're learning, dude.
Yeah.
Like, we say that every fucking time. We chronicle our come up in real time, and it's things we've learned. And guess what? Maybe 50 episodes from now, we might come back and say, hey, we were wrong.
Yeah.
But right now, something that I'm very passionate about and something that's been very freeing for me is not only, you know, quote unquote, not giving a fuck. Like, yes, okay, like everybody doesn't give a fuck. Yeah. But you gotta be 100% yourself, dude. There's always gonna be people that vibe with it. If you're afraid being 100% yourself is gonna alienate you from everybody, you're wrong.
It's the opposite.
It's the opposite. It's gonna bring people to you that have a common interest and really connect with you, dude. And with the internet, you can find anybody with any interest, dude. You can really niche it down and find your target audience. I would rather have 100 people that really fuck with me that are on the same wavelength, mentality, mindset, goals, whatever it is. We're all on the same wavelength. I'd rather have 100 of those people than 100,000 followers that just aren't even on the same page with me and think completely different than me. You're out here trying to find your target audience. You're not trying to bring everybody in on your shit. So that's something that I learned. So,
and that's got to be exhausting, bro. Like, let's say you pop off or whatever on your social media page and you're not being yourself, you're actually like putting up a front about certain things. Like, that's exhausting. You got to keep up with that because now
you're a puppet.
Now you fake attracted people to like you for something that you really aren't, and now you got to keep up with that like forever to keep your business going. Like, are you kidding me? That's crazy.
So why not from the jump just be yourself, dude?
Yeah.
And we're not perfect at this. I'm telling you guys, like, this is something that I'm struggling with.
We still struggle with this.
Yeah.
But we know, like, we're aware this is, like, why, like, what we should change.
Exactly.
You know?
And in the last episode, we said it. You got to figure out, you got to know what you don't know. Mm-hmm. So I didn't realize that this huge mental barrier and you know, what was making me feel like crap all the time, I didn't realize that what was making me feel like crap was the fact that I was afraid to be truly authentically myself because I valued the opinions of others who aren't really relevant to my life so much.
Yeah.
That's what I realized. I had to understand that in order to now take this step forward. I didn't know that before. Now I do know that that's the obstacle in front of me. So I'm going to be 100% myself. I'm not going to give a fuck about the opinions of people that are irrelevant, and I'm going to build the life that I want. And here's another thing, dude. Like, there are so many avenues for becoming an entrepreneur and starting a business, and people want to talk shit on Amazon. There are fucking millions. Do you know what FBM and FBA, fulfilled by merchant, fulfilled by Amazon, all types of shit? There are millions of businesses making money from Amazon, a $30 a month subscription to Shopify. There's people that sell products through Instagram. There are people that literally act as a middleman between people that want to outsource jobs. If you go on Fiverr or something and you hire a website designer that has great reviews, how do you know that they're not just taking it to a person who's doing it half the price and then pocketing the difference? That's a real business model, maybe a little unethical, but people do that. There's so many digital business models that you can start with like $100. I started my job that I do. I am a freelancer, technically, you know, employed by different companies here or whatever at a certain time, but I just go by self-employed because I decide my own rates and I work out the contract with the customers I work with. That's some shit that I started with literally just my laptop. I only had a laptop and I started that. There are so many ways to be an entrepreneur and to make your own money. So the point that I wanted to make was, if you're worried about, oh, your employer seeing this on your Instagram or whatever, fuck them, dude. Go out and make your own fucking job. And once again, you're going to have all these pussies on social media telling you how hard it is because of the way you look or who you are. But the reality is that they don't know what you're capable of. Only you know that, and the only way to continue finding out is to push it and see what is going to make you successful. Dude, you got to capitalize on your strengths, and everybody has strengths, but if you're sitting there like a pussy on social media listening to everybody tell you what you can't do, you're never going to find out what you're good at.
You might not want to get a tattoo because you might want to get a job later.
Oh, Ryan, hey, Ryan. Hey, Ryan. Do you know how many motherfuckers have told Ryan, oh, music. Okay, well, hey, what's your plan B? Yeah. Oh, okay, Jacob, you're 24 years old. Dude, I got friends who are working in finance and accounting and all this shit who are making their salary, their good salary and shit. People are telling me, oh, Jacob, when are you going to settle down at a record label or settle down at this or that? Hey, that may be an avenue in the future. Cool. Like, I would love to just work in the industry for a label or something, but right now I'm trying to build my own artist management agency and go in, dude.
Yeah, and now, like, I can look at those people eye to eye and as another adult, not even like a mentor, like, I'm still a kid, listen to me, adult. It's like, I'm an adult looking at you eye to eye and saying, this is my life and my choice, and I'm going in on this. You know what I'm saying? You chose that, I chose this. There's no right answer and shit.
And no one's better than another person. No one's wrong. Fuck people, dude. Stop listening to people's bullshit and stop letting that get in your head and dictate what you're going to do in life. I want to just go off on a tangent. I think it's so funny. One of our insiders DM'd Ryan on Instagram and was like, hey, bro, I've been listening to your podcast. It's helping me learn English.
Oh, yeah.
And I just imagine he's in his country, like, talking to people. Hey, guys, I learned some English. Okay, speak English. And he's like, man, if you have a victim mentality, fuck you, bro. He's just going in on a bunch of motivational shit.
He's from Indonesia.
Really?
Indonesia, yeah.
What was his name?
Ronald, I think. Or
Ronald.
I think Ronald with no N. I think Royald, or I think it's Ronald actually.
Okay.
But interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey man, if you're listening, we really appreciate
He
it.
bypassed my music and just went to the podcast. Yeah,
I love that. Hey, that's cool. But yeah, man. All right. Hey, that's all I got for you guys today. You cool, Ryan?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like what I said, it's a never-ending journey. Everyone's still learning. We're still learning. There's a lot we don't know, but just find joy in the process. Because why not? Like, why would you stress yourself out throughout this whole time trying to find the answers in the finish line when it's like there are no like concrete answers, at the end of the day, and no finish line, quote unquote. So just enjoy it.
Enjoy every single day. Don't let a day go to waste. If you need to do something that makes you happy every single day, honestly.
I think too, there's just a level of faith you just gotta have. Like under all that, just to know, like, things are going to work out and piece themselves together. Like there's a level of faith that's like important too.
Yeah.
As long as you're taking the right steps and being smart and working hard, it's like you got to let that faith element come into play, and just like it's unexplainable, but I don't know.
Yourself.
Trust
yourself, man. All right, good shit, my brother. Episode 29, people.
What's in your mind for you and for I'm trying to decide from the look in your eyes, yeah. I made my signs, but your feelings inside you. I'm messing up my mind and my spirit.